Oh, hey, what's going on? Dr. Max in the chat writes the following. Hey, Sid, tell us what we really... Let me try that again. Go again. Dr. Max in the chat writes the following. Hey, Sid, tell us really what you think of BI. Actually, you know what? Tell us how we all feel about all our Toronto sports athletes. Talk about soft as butter. No heart. We have no winners. Just a bunch of blank. Seems like everyone's in a good mood. Hit it, Azzo.
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now. Got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What's up? We are live. It is Thursday. Maybe my favorite day of the week. It's not Friday. I think Thursday's way underrated for a day of the week. Baby Friday. Friday Junior. Friday Youth is what it is. Good to talk to you. Good to see you. It is Thursday, April the 30th. We are live on X. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook and live on ICQ and Netscape. We're on all the places. Great to see you. Sid Seixeiro Show powered by Sick Media. And we're going to go to the chat again here right off the front for just a random reason. Anton Shabika in the chat writes the following. Julian Alvarez of Atletico Madrid scored. Marner got an assist yesterday. Habs won. Pens and Raptors lost. I thought the Raptors would win. So 90% of Sid's predictions made the playoffs. Shout out the CFL playoff system with my predictions. I'm actually on an odd little run here. Catch me while I'm hot, fade me the rest of the time. But my soccer is on point. I did mention to Azzo yesterday, look for a 1-assist, 2-shot night for Marner. Guess what he did? 1 assist, 2 shots on goal. He actually had a bizarre moment towards the end of the game where he left for a line change with the puck in Utah's end, and then the puck came around to his vacated spot of the offensive zone. I'm not kidding. If you can go back and watch the last 5 minutes, I think it was at 3 minutes to go in regulation. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what that guy's doing. Anyway, but I'm over it with Marner, clearly. I'm over it. I cannot process how much we have to talk about today. And I know the Leafs haven't announced anything yet, but hold on to your butts. Because there has been some reporting in the last 24 hours, and we are going to sift through all of it. And I mean all of it over the next 1 hour, 54 minutes. Could be 2.5 hour show today. Don't tell Azzo.
No.
Could be 2.5 hours of whole grain goodness.
Shorter than my commute.
Shorter than your commute. Azzo had a bizarre 50-minute commute over 2 blocks today. We're technically out of downtown Toronto. Same garbage. We find the same stuff. It's now a Southern Ontario thing. Speaking of a Southern Ontario thing, Jeremy Burke in the chat, in Azzo we trust. Well, we're all screwed if that's the case. We're all screwed. I got a notification on my phone today, and I had to do a double, triple take on this piece of information. And it was from my Weather Network app. Now, I got to tell you, I sometimes like to throw out the game of if you could only have one app on your phone, what would it be? You're allowed one app. Mine might be Spotify. Every song you've ever loved. I'm sorry. That's pretty damn good. And you can make your own playlists. And if Diana Rossini, share them to the world.
And you can listen to the pod.
And you can listen to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. You do all these things. And all the Sick Media podcasts. By the way, the Sick podcast with Tony Marinaro last night, fire. Yeah. They were on location. Forgive me, I don't know exactly where they were. Tony in a blue, blanc, et rouge jersey, firing up a crowd. Love it.
Wonder if he upped his life insurance, remember?
Oh, that's right.
It was coming up.
Up the life insurance. Tony, the longer this run goes for Tony Marinaro, wife could cash in big time.
I was gonna say, they get out of this round, it'll be
the blood pressure for Tony is rising, and I love it. But I got a notification today from the Weather Network app, which is the best app or one of the best apps. I'm a sucker for the radar. That radar is 3% accurate, but I go on that thing all the time. I plan my day around the 3-hour radar. I have sent texts to family in a panic saying there's something over Kitchener right now and it's coming your way. And they never sign it. So that radar on the Weather Network app is hit and miss. But I love the app. Love it. Martino in the chat knows exactly where I'm going with this. There is a frost advisory tonight in Southern Ontario. It's May tomorrow. There's a frost advisory. Bring in your plants from the backyard, from the balcony. I don't care where you are. Bring in the plants. There's a frost advisory in Southern Ontario tonight. The hell is that about? It's almost May. It's May in less than 12 hours. Yeah, it is. Don't hang. There's nothing better than a factual statement and hearing Azzo go, I'm not sure about that. Yes, it's the 12 hours away, May. Yes. Bill Nye over here doesn't think so. I believe it's May in 12 hours.
Checked with AI, you are correct.
Yes. What am I, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, checking AI to book things? We'll talk about that maybe one day. But so I spent maybe an hour looking at my phone going, where did this come from? Where did this frost advisory come from for Southern Ontario tonight as April turns into May? And then I realized it all developed out of Rocket Arena and the Raptors' fourth quarter. They were that cold. The Raptors' coldness in the fourth quarter began a low-pressure system of frost that's going to hit us in the face in Southern Ontario overnight. That's exactly where it came from. A lot of our weather comes from that part of the Midwest and Cleveland and Detroit-ish, Chicago. I know how this works. Thanks, Raptors. Frost warning in the fourth quarter last night, coming here overnight tonight. It got so cold for the Raptors last night, I had to check. Now keep in mind, the context of that cold fourth quarter is the Raptors through three quarters had the best road game of their existence. They scored 103 points on the road in the playoffs through three quarters. You know how many times they've done that in franchise history? Never. They've never done that. And without Brandon Ingram, who we will get to, the Raptors set postseason franchise record for points through three quarters of a road game. And they came out in the fourth, and they couldn't hit a shot. Their first bucket was Jamison Battle with 6:58 to go. They couldn't do anything. Might as well throw an AJ Lawson back out there for no reason. What the hell was that about to start the second half? Darko once in a while is I'm warming up to Darko. He's still going to Darko. AJ Lawson lasted 2 minutes and they took him out. What the hell was that about? Might as well throw me in there. That was brilliant. Which one of the 19 assistant coaches on the sideline had that idea? Holy cow. Anyway, the Raptors were cold. But I'm really torn on this because for three quarters, the Raptors weren't. I thought they played a great game. I do. I thought they played a great game. With people banged up. People banged up. Now, the story of last night for the Raptors, as they lose Game 5, and teams that win Game 5 historically in the NBA tied at 2 win 81.5% of the time going forward in terms of the series. So clearly the Raptors are up against it here. I don't think they're out of it. Call me crazy. I don't think the Raptors are out of this. But the storyline that developed last night bothered me a great deal. And I'm not talking about the coaching. I'm talking about availability. I'm talking about fighting through. I am talking about being there for your teammates, your coach, and your franchise. That's what I'm talking about. It's a stark reality in the NBA that we never really give a lot of credence to, but a lot of champions down through the years keep their ass available to play. Kind of a big deal. I hear teams complain about injuries, this, that, and the other. Then be tough enough to play. It's not easy to do that. LeBron James is one of the greatest of all time, not just because of the stats, because he's there. I'm not much older than LeBron James. I can barely bend my right knee. You have to be available. If you are going to be a title contending team in any sport, you have to be available to play and compete and work and earn your paycheck. A lot of people out there soft as porridge who want legacies. Get out of here with that. And I want to start with Brandon Ingram. And I'm hearing a lot of, tough break for Brandon Ingram. Tough break. Brandon Ingram had a point in 11 minutes when he left the game last night. Heel inflammation is what I was told, what you were told. Heel inflammation is the issue with Brandon Ingram. Now, I do find it interesting that Brandon Ingram headed right for the dressing room moments after what might have been the worst turnover in NBA history. Forgot how to dribble. Like, we've seen this, right? Like, I'm not the only one noticing Brandon Ingram does not know how to dribble anymore. A basketball during an NBA game? Problematic. If you're dribbling a ball down a sidewalk in your neighborhood going home from school, Different story. You're on an NBA playoff court. He has been a wreck. And then he leaves with heel inflammation? With Emmanuel Quickly wearing a Canadian tuxedo or whatever the hell he was wearing last night on the sideline? And you leave the rest of the responsibility to the others? Oh, captain, my captain, Brandon Ingram. Oh, captain, my captain. And I got really irked hearing Darko after the game. Now, Darko was just trying to explain the situation. But then the conversation veered towards, well, he's been dealing with this for a long time. For those who missed it, here's Darko after losing Game 5 last night.
You guys know he's been dealing with his heel. He re-aggravated that heel on one play. We tried to retape him, at halftime. He tried to, activate to see if he can be ready for second half, and he was not able to come and play second half. So tomorrow we'll know more when we do more evaluation.
So throughout the series, has it been something he's managing, but that since he had that injury in the regular season?
Right. That's something that's kind of on and off. He was doing well, and then he just re-aggravated it on that play.
No three-putting in the chat. Raptors are way better without Ingram. Yes. This version of Ingram, yes, it's not a game. Overreacting over a game, dicey. What's been going on in Detroit with Cade Cunningham has been a little dicey too, because Cunningham's deserved a lot of heat and dropped 45 last night. It can go the other way sometimes very quickly. 5 games of this from Brandon Ingram. 5. What I object to is now the notion that Brandon Ingram, the hero of the Toronto Raptors, has been fighting for this for a while. Darko told me he was the best player in the world last week after winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week right before the playoffs. So maybe you weren't nursing it that bad, were you? What were you nursing the week you won Eastern Conference Player of the Week? And to quote Darko, everyone's kissing you. What were you nursing that week? Like we're all dumb? Now all of a sudden he comes in hobbling against Cleveland after winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week? So that's the excuse now? Heel inflammation. He's playing the role of heel, all right. I'll tell you that. That is Game 5 of the biggest series they've played in years. And I'm going to say this so everyone can hear. Turn it up. His ass better be out Friday. I don't want to see it. I want to see that guy in street clothes with Quickly on Friday. Let the adults in the room handle it. He wants no part of this. In his play, in his distribution, he was giving up shot. He did not want to take a shot last night. I don't need to see him. If the Raptors are going to go down in the series, and they might, let the people who are committed and pot committed and also playing injured go out there and represent the city. I don't need that garbage anymore. And most of you don't either. I don't know what this guy's about, but I'm done with it for at least a series. If you miss a game of that caliber last night that quickly for inflammation, not a strain, not a tweak, inflammation? Game 5 of a series tied at 2? You better be hurt. I don't want to see his ass in the building on Friday. If he shows up and plays Friday, we got a problem. We got a big problem because that guy quit last night. He had a terrible turnover. He couldn't hit a shot, and he just walked off. You saw it, and I saw it. Now he's been nursing it for days. He's been nursing it for days now. He had no interest in that last night. Soccer has a term for that. It's called bottling it. You're afraid and you want out. That's why players pick up red cards when their team's getting their ass kicked, so they're not to blame. So they just walk off. It's cheap. It's cheap. You know who's not cheap? Brandon Ingram. He's getting paid good money. I am not sitting here and coddling Ingram today. That is pathetic what he did last night, and he better not play Friday for him to pull that act yesterday. He better be hurt. He better be hurt. Because you know who was? Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes was hurt last night. Got his quad hit. I believe it was Jared Allen. In the clip you're about to hear, he thinks it's Thomas Bryant. It was Jared Allen. Scotty Barnes is limping for more than half of that game last night. And he was okay, 17 points, not the best defensive night. He looked a little compromised. For the record, he looked a little compromised at the end of game 4. He was still a beast in that. That's what I want. That's what I want. Nothing but excuses with Ingram. It's the same BS every time. Guy wins an Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and everyone's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Play. It's the playoffs. Cleveland suck. They're waiting to be had. I swear to God, if Ingram comes out Friday, this organization is a mess. A mess. I'd rather lose with the other guys than try and act like I'm competitive with Brandon Ingram. That was pathetic. He quit on the team last night, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, Scotty Barnes is running around, and he's limping the entire time. He's trying his best. I'm going to take 30 seconds. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to let you hear Scotty Barnes talk about his injury and just the general physical nature of the game, because he also got like the Roddy Piper eye poke last night from someone, and he almost couldn't. He had to leave the game then. Here's Scotty Barnes.
I got hit on a drive going to the basket. I forgot who it was. I think it was Thomas Bryant, but obviously it had some effect. Couldn't play with that same pace that I was, trying to play with. Just had me a little limp out there, but I was just trying to push through it, trying to win the game. But can't do nothing about it. Just gotta get some recovery, let it rest a little bit, be ready Friday. That happened. Got hit in the eye one time. Couldn't really, my eye was bugging me a little bit, but supposed to be physical. Things happen. You can't control that. But just got to keep moving on, push through it.
Samuel in the chat, calm down, Sid. You're making my wife horny. Sorry. Things I've rarely been accused of in my life. Rarely. Jay in the chat, 1.11 minutes, pathetic for sure. I'm fine with you missing shots. For the record, I'm now used to it with Brandon Ingram. The sequence of events in him leaving that game last night was a guy who wanted no part of it. None. And those are good coaches and teammates around him. No, everyone stuck up for him post-game last night. I would have had a different feel. Good for Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes will be out there tomorrow night in Game 6. Scotty Barnes will be taking the load. 7:30 p.m. Eastern start. I looked ahead for Game 7 on Sunday because I think there will be a Game 7 in Cleveland because Cleveland are chokers too. And nothing yet. We don't know the schedule yet for Sunday, so if we see anything, if Azzo sees anything, we'll let you know. I'm assuming that's an afternoon Game 7. They love their afternoon Game 7s on American television. They love it. There's spit on my microphone.
Too excited.
Sorry. So that's what I wanted to start with. I don't know where this is going for the Raptors. I think we all have a feeling where, because the Raptors are now 0-10 lifetime in Cleveland for some reason. That house of horrors for them in the playoffs. I don't know what the deal is. But the Raptors last night played a game that could win without Brandon Ingram and without Emmanuel Quickley. And sometimes with A.J. Lawson. And then they took him out after 2 minutes. Still don't know what that was about to start the second half. No idea. No clue. But you can't tell me a Raptors team who scores more road points in 3 quarters than they've ever done in their life in the NBA wasn't good enough to win that game last night. They were. They were. Dennis Schroeder can go to hell. Boy, Cleveland got lucky with that. And defensively, the Raptors in the fourth quarter, too, they made Dennis Schroeder look like the fastest point guard in the league. Like, it wasn't a great overall fourth quarter for the Raps. I acknowledge. But I want to tip the cap to Scotty Barnes tip the cap to RJ. We're gonna have some RJ Barrett love in a second. And publicly acknowledge I am done with the Brandon Ingram experience after leaving the game the way he did. That was sad. That was sad. Inflammation. Game 5, series tied at 2. Inflammation. Watching him play basketball gives my eyes inflammation. I'm rooting hard for the Raps tomorrow night. I think they're still in this. That was tough for Darko last night to try and manage in-game, losing a guy who gets the minutes of Ingram. I get it. But it's time to make a clean move with Ingram because even if he plays tomorrow night to start, I don't trust him to finish. Time to get real with Brandon Ingram. Either on the scoreboard or physically, I don't trust him to finish. Time to make a hard decision in this series. Reevaluate after. I do not think Ingram on the court is going to help this team tomorrow night for a variety of reasons that I have already explained. Let's see how it plays out. Maybe he took some ibuprofen and the inflammation has gone down. Who knows? Who knows? Thanks, Scotty, for another gutty effort. Appreciate Scotty Barnes. A great deal. Incredible. Jeff has a party. Good afternoon.
Hello, Sid. You need a hug, buddy? I thought I came in fired up.
I need a superstar who can play, is what I need.
Well, you got
need
one.
A superstar.
You got one.
I'd like two. I would like 2 superstars who can play because you're paying the other guy enough to play, so he should play. Heal inflammation. It's just
crazy.
Someone kiss on it and make it better.
Yeah, I was going to call in sick today because I couldn't walk in my heel.
Unbelievable.
That is ridiculous.
Flippin' A in the chat. Sid needs a quesadilla. I do need a quesadilla.
He definitely does.
Hell yeah, I need a quesadilla. I could not believe that. After the worst turnover I've ever seen a Raptor make in my life, and I saw Jose Calderon spray that ball everywhere. It was Brandon Ingram who has forgotten how to dribble a basketball, then goes, guys.
You know what I thought it was? I'm like, it's a Phantom IL stint because he's playing so bad. Just take him to the back and leave him.
Another Phantom IL stint. Yeah,
right?
I like it.
Why not? Like, I hate that this became the story because he hasn't helped his team out all series.
He hasn't.
I don't care. And honestly, to be fair, like, I'm kind of mad at the Raptors today, all of them. Because that game was right there for the taking. There was multiple times they had a double-digit lead, and they should have won that game in Cleveland last night and would have won them the series.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm kind of mad. Me and the Raptors are on a bit of a break.
I'm in a weird spot. I'm mad, but not at them necessarily.
I'm mad at they gave that away.
I'm mad at some circumstance. Listen, Jacoby Walter wasn't going to hit all those threes. He had 6 threes in the first 3 quarters.
By the way, Lawson played 218. Put some respect on his name.
Sorry.
He went 0 for 2 and they pulled him out. The data said he's not, he shouldn't be in there. Pull him out.
AJ Lawson played 218. My kingdom for a Mike on Darko looking at the bench going, what the hell did we just do?
Yeah. I was watching
Take AJ Lawson out of the game right now, please.
I was watching it with a buddy who does him closer. He's like, Lawson, who the hell is that guy?
No, listen, it's a great story. Like, he's been part of the team.
Course.
I get it. But like, it seemed like a really odd, important place to put AJ Lawson into the game.
100%, for sure.
Because I believe Jamal Shed was not on the court for that.
Yeah.
And Shed has done more than most people to earn time.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was weird. I thought it was very, very strange.
Dude, I think they're in this series in spite of Brandon Ingram. Like, I don't think he's really contributed much, so I don't even feel like it's that big of a loss.
It would bother me, though, if I saw him tomorrow.
Yeah,
it would.
Fair.
I know I'm a little warped like that, and not everyone sees it like that. That's how I think. If you walk out of a game that big, how dare you?
Yeah, it's true.
How dare you to go, guys, I'm good.
No,
with only 1 day off. There's no days off, basically, before games 5 and 6.
Right.
So now you're going to walk in going, hey, ready to go, guys.
No,
really?
Your point was bang on, and you win Eastern Player of the Week? Last week of the season.
Eastern Conference Player of the Week last. So
when everybody else was sitting their stars, you won it. Cool, good for you.
And then now you're going to start to feed me that line last night. Well, he's kind of been nursing this for a little bit. Get out of here. Get out of here. What did AJ Lawson play again?
218.
Chase in the chat, the most intense 18 seconds he's ever experienced.
It's true. By the way, and what the Raptors did, I mean, even BI, not as embarrassing as Cleveland. I thought that was ridiculous what happened postgame when Atkinson said he wanted to put Donovan and Evan back in, Mobley and Mitchell back in, and they said, no, we're good. The second unit's got it.
I mean, that's Kenny Atkinson's story. That's such a wild story. I almost don't believe it.
Well, then they asked Mitchell about it.
What did Mitchell say?
He's like, it's about the group. It isn't about each individual. Dude, if that's true, your stars that are playing, they don't want to go in the fourth quarter.
Dude, no, but you know what that story does? It takes the players off the hook that Donovan Mitchell lost playing time to Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. Wow.
So Kenny Atkinson makes them look like the heroes, saying, "Coach, don't put us in. Let Schroeder cook." And they look. And
does it make it? To me, it makes them look.
No, because the headline would have been Donovan Mitchell benched. Bad headline. Yes. Bad headline for Cleveland.
Just gets me even more upset. The Raptors lost that game to their B squad, their bench.
Listen, I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is I think Kenny Atkinson's full of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's how it played out. And I think he's making his players look like heroes when Donovan Mitchell wasn't good enough to play. What did Mitchell finish with? 19? He didn't hit 20 points again.
No, I don't think he did.
And he's doing the spider web meme. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Get out of here.
Yeah, he had 19 points.
Most overrated player in the league, Donovan Mitchell.
Well, apparently that was BI. Remember, somebody brought that up in the chat.
It is BI.
And they apparently Bleacher Report knew what they were talking. Yeah, when Pirtle looks way healthier than you, because he had 10 points. Scotty was looking for him early. Pirtle had 10 points in 8 minutes, to start the game. It was crazy. They were rolling.
Jakob Pirtle did look good last night.
Yeah, and Scotty was looking for him early, and he was finding him.
Forgive me, I lost the comment in the chat, but someone's asking how much K-tape will Brandon Ingram use tomorrow night.
I saw that. There was one saying, somebody call Eric Lauer. Can Lauer? Yeah, here it is. Someone tell Lauer to give the rap staff his K-tape. I clearly needs.
Sorry, that's what user Mackay. Sorry about that. that's the comment I was trying to pull in the moment.
They were from Martino says, CMB playing with an injured thumb too. Let's not forget about him.
A little regression from Colin Murray-Boyles last night. No doubt about it. Little regression.
Pirtle has a bad back and was contributing from flipping A. It's true. Scotty was playing hurt, but gave him his all from Jay Carl.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, team played better with AI. Jay Carl again. BI. This one was good for flipping A. BI stands for body injured.
Very good. Do me a favor. Yeah. Run the Now Awake 1231. Show that and let that sit for a second. 1231 just came in on the chat from YouTube. Yep. So Now Awake writes, Raptors and Cavs are equals. Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they are. Even without Brandon Ingram doing anything, they are equals.
The Raptors are better, man. They just don't know how to.
You think the Raptors are better?
Yes, they ran them out of again. They came out on fire. They were winning 22-10.
Okay.
The Raptors had multiple 10-point leads. It's just this team needs to know how to bury them, put them away.
All right, I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
In the spots where the Raptors are running, Cleveland can't keep up with them. There was multiple times they had 8, 10, 12-point leads. It's crazy. I'm so mad because that game was right there. For the first win in Cleveland, I would have changed the series and they would have won the series easily last night.
I'll say this, though. It sets up, if you're ever going to win the first playoff game in Cleveland, Sunday afternoon would be the bee's knees, man. Yeah. That would be pretty nice. If it gets there.
Yeah.
If it gets there.
But it was right there. It was there. You have to take those wins.
By the way, I also want to warn all the Raptors who end up playing tomorrow night. Because something has happened here that has developed rather quickly, and it feels to me that members of the Raptors on the court still haven't prepared for it. Scotty Barnes is becoming one of the better passers in the game.
Yep.
And Pirtle isn't ready for it. And other guys on the court, they're not ready for it. Guys, everyone head on a swivel when Barnes has the ball. He's going to find you. It's an aspect of his game that is improved rapidly. And I'm here for it, but Pirtle and some of these guys they're not ready. How many times did balls go through people's hands when they should have been ready? And they weren't ready just because of the speed of it. They weren't ready because it was kind of out of nowhere, but Scotty's threading needles. It's crazy.
Well, it's not just that.
Crazy.
To me, it's showing his basketball IQ too, where he's identifying something on the court that they can take advantage of.
Yes.
And that's why he was trying to feed Pirtle, right? Because he was noticing that, and Pirtle was getting buckets. Again, he had 10 points in 8 minutes. He was rolling.
Agreed. Jeremy in the chat, the bee's knees. Is this Gen Z lingo? Well, potentially.
Oh,
okay, so anything else on Barnes and BI and the injuries?
I don't know. Do you dribble a ball with your heel? Is that why you couldn't dribble?
Can I tell a quick story? Azo comes in today and says, what are we leading with? I go, we're leading with the Raps. And he goes, Yeah, I don't got much. I go, what? You
No,
don't
because
got
I'm
what?
angry at them. We're on a break. Me and the Raptors are on a break for 24 hours. We're on a break. We're on a Ross and Rachel break right now. I'm mad at them because they should have won that.
So while you're on your break, are you going to cheat on the Raptors with someone else?
Maybe.
That's
Who's playing
that
tonight?
was the Ross and Rachel thing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying I'm Rachel? Okay.
No, I'm not saying you're Ross or Rachel. You brought up Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
You have that great Rachel hair, though. You do look great.
I'll be watching the Knicks and the Nuggets tonight. I might cheat.
There's a lot on.
Yeah.
Kenneth in the chat. I love the Scotty no look passes. You know who didn't? Jakob Poeltl for a little bit.
He wasn't ready for
Jakob Poeltl needs you to look at him, or he's just lost.
So one more thing. Coolest app on the phone has to be Shazam, no?
Shazam
It's such a cool
but
app.
after a while, like you don't need Shazam. Shazam is like, what's that song? Oh, it's that 90s. It's that song from the 90s from Toad the Wet Sprocket I forgot about. But after that, when do you need Shazam? Never.
Always. Whenever you hear a good song, you
Over
can't think of the name.
Spotify.
No, because then you have to go to
Over- hold on.
Spotify because then you add it to your playlist.
Over Spotify and your banking app and your fantasy sports apps, because my fantasy sports app's high on the list.
Of course.
High on
Actually,
the list.
That's true too, yeah.
Like I need. There is something about having all your favorite songs together. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can't.
I'm
you
sorry,
don't know
that's-
your songs unless you Shazam them.
I can figure it out. I
Can
can
you?
I can
Oh,
ask
you're that guy?
someone, what's this?
You're gonna do the Al
Yes.
Bundy?
Yes.
Him.
Him.
What song is that?
Did Shazam not? Was that not inspired by that episode of Married with Children?
Is that true?
I read that once.
So did I, but I don't know if that's true.
There's some of you have no idea what we're talking about. Ed O'Neill and Married with Children was a pretty cutting edge show on Fox back in the day. And he played a really disgruntled, angry, hilarious shoe salesman who was just mad at the world. And he had a song stuck in his head. And he spent the entire episode asking everyone, what's this song? Him. And no one would know it. And I forget how it finally dawned on him. But like, I read that episode of Married with Children spawned the idea of Shazam.
Makes sense.
Like, it's that simple. Well, it's not simple to get the app, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The idea is simple enough. And it still blows my mind every time I use it. All right. RJ Barrett had a good night, man.
Good series.
RJ Barrett and he's had a good series. What did Barrett have? 25 points. Fantastic game for RJ again. And on top of that, he's not taking any stuff from any member of the Cavs. And that started early in this series, but last night in the fourth quarter, it continued with James Harden. James Harden tried to pick up a basketball that had rolled into the Raptors bench. You know, it's not exactly stepping over a guy after a three or a dunk, but it's close. It's kind of disrespectful. RJ Barrett shoved. There were words spoken. A lot of Cavaliers left the bench, and the league's probably not going to look at that for some reason, but it happened. And there was an altercation. RJ Barrett, after the game last night, was asked in English. He was asked about said altercation. Here it is.
By our bench, and he walked in our bench to go pick up the ball. I take everything as disrespect. Don't walk over to our bench and pick the ball up, you know? James Harden is a guy that I have tremendous respect for. I always have. You know, I've always watched him growing up. But who cares right now? You know what I mean? I just don't walk to our bench and grab the ball. I'd expect if I went to the bench and grabbed the ball in front of their bench, I'd expect the same thing.
Let's go, RJ. Sean in the Yukon in the chat. Harden tried to break RJ's wrist with that hack under the hoop. Can't believe that wasn't called. Well, I mean, it was called. A foul was called, but like it was bad on RJ.
Yeah, it was-
like Harden and RJ had an evening. Definitely had some moments between the two of them.
Foster didn't have, was he the ref? Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
have a good
Scott
night last
Foster.
night. He didn't have a good night.
God, I don't trust his face.
Right?
I don't trust his face.
Something about
at
him.
all.
It's true.
Like something, like I'm going to read a story in 5 years about Scott Foster.
100%. It seems that way.
It's a story, and for the record, it's a story about his love of gardening to avoid litigation on my end. But yeah, I love RJ's attitude. You need that. Brandon Ingram's not giving you that. Love it.
You got to play with
Love
some
it.
hate in the playoffs, no?
And then Scotty had a bit of a moment in the circle with, I believe was it Harden as well?
I think it
It was
was.
Harden.
Yeah, Harden was all over the place. He was instigating a lot last night.
Jamal Shed doesn't get into it a ton, but he does talk a lot, and I love it. Jamal Shed he's not like Chris
True.
Paul with the conversation, but like he's starting down that road, And I like that from Jamal Chet. I like it. Get this edge.
GS says Leafs should trade for RJ. Bring some culture.
I mean, at this rate, RJ is going to become a vice president of hockey ops. Wait till you hear who's up for roles in the Leafs front office. Wait till you go down this road with us. Love RJ. They're going to need another RJ performance tomorrow.
Definitely.
At Scotiabank. And RJ also, after the game, talked about tomorrow at Scotiabank. And, the Raptors will have their people there with them. And they're confident again. Quite frankly, I don't blame them.
But we should be encouraged with all of that happening, and we're still in position to win the game. So that's a testament to everybody on our team. We've always had the next man up mentality. Obviously, we love those guys and we need those guys. And whatever the situation may be, we're going to go out there, we're going to play together, and we're going to fight and give everything we have.
Jay Caro in the chat, Game 7 Sunday, bucket. I'm kind of with him.
What time?
I don't know. I'm going to guess 3:30.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess a 3. They don't, if it's a Game 7 on a Sunday, it's never an evening game.
No.
Ever. All right, so there it is. Raptors, despite a horrible shooting fourth quarter, still only lost by 5 points. They had more points through 3 quarters than they've ever had on the road in a playoff game in their history. A lot of things went right last night. They just couldn't pull it out. How do you feel about tomorrow night, Jeff Azzopardi?
I feel good. I think they're going to win Game 6. Again, that game was right there last night, especially in the first quarter. When they were up 22-10 and they let them back in to be losing at the end of the first quarter was ridiculous to me. That's multiple times they've done that. They've started off hot, and then they let Cleveland right back in.
Yep. They needed more A.J. Lawson.
Maybe. Should have come in the first half.
Steeler in the chat. Scott Foster is famous for certain teams having nearly 0 wins with him officiating in the postseason. He does pick favorites.
Oh, I didn't really.
Scott Foster looks like every bad guy I've seen in the Die Hard movies.
That's a great.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like you could see him walking in, slick back hair, a little older, going, "Nice to see you, Mister Whatever." Whatever the Die
He's the
Hard
guy on the other
characters.
side of the phone when they're calling.
Yes. The building is going to blow up in 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You will learn your lesson soon. I don't trust.
That's Austin Powers.
It's Austin Powers. Well, a little bit. I just don't trust Scott Foster's face.
No, I
at all.
agree. There's something about him. It's
Terrible
true.
face. Don't trust him.
Yeah.
All right. So, Scott Foster's nickname is the Extender. Because when you need a series to go 6 or 7, that's the guy.
He's your guy.
Yep.
I like that.
Game 6 tomorrow, 7:30, Scotiabank Arena. Cavs have a 3-2 lead. I like the Raptors winning that game.
So do I.
The Raptors should have won that last night. They were incredible through 3 quarters without any contribution whatsoever from Brandon Ingram. 1 point in 11 minutes, inflated heel or inflamed heel. Maybe both. Maybe both.
We don't need him. We don't need him.
I don't think we need. And you know what? If they lose tomorrow without him, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, same. But you're right. Yeah,
I'm
don't
fine
even
with it.
dress.
Trust this crew. Trust Scotty and the crew. I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with more minutes from Battle or whoever you want to put in instead. Go with it.
AJ Lawson. Give AJ Lawson a start.
No.
Why not?
He maxes out at 2:30.
Why not? Ali Bear in the chat, bet the house on the Raptors tomorrow. Thinking about it.
First of the month, payday. No.
Hey, Azzo.
Yes.
Great time of year.
Is it? Speaking of, tell us why.
I will, Azzo. Puck drops, tip-offs, first pitches. When the game is on, you call the shots. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus. Play responsibly. Azzo, can I take a walk here?
It's all yours, my friend.
Let me take a stroll.
I know where we're going. Champions League, obviously.
I mean, I think the Arsenal Atletico Madrid game played out the way we thought it was going to play out. No, I'm going to the Leafs.
Oh no, I know. I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you were going.
No. Yeah, it's all yours.
That was the quintessential Atletico Madrid Arsenal game yesterday. No surprises. 1-1.
Emblem controversy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever
Ben White steps on the emblem.
Which is right in front of
Diego Simeone yells at him because he yells at everyone. Do you know Diego Simeone's like the only coach in European soccer who consistently, when the game is over, will not shake the hand of the other coach? He just runs down the tunnel for the most part.
No way.
Jackass.
That's crazy.
Great coach, legendary player, jackass.
I had a coach who, if we lost, you weren't allowed to shake hands.
If you lost?
If you lost.
What's his first and last name and address?
Actually, Joey Votto's coach, who Votto gives a lot of credit to here.
If you guys lost
Yeah.
You were not allowed to shake the hands of the
No.
better team.
And we had to clean the field too. We had to like rake
Well,
the
that's
field, the baseball
hilarious.
field.
That's hilarious. I
It
understand
is,
that.
it's amazing.
But what's the significance of not congratulating the team that
I
beat you
don't
fair
know,
and square?
but I think it was just to build up like you lost. No, you don't even. I don't know.
Are you being serious?
I swear to God.
Off air, tell me his name.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't tell me his name on there.
Okay.
Off air, tell me his name. That's crazy. All right, we got to do a segment on that eventually because that's wild. Any of you seen the movie Conclave? Conclave is it started out pretty well. It ended kind of weird. But if you're fascinated by Vatican politics, it's kind of a must watch. It walks you through how they select popes, how they do popes in the Roman Catholic Church. And if you're in Vatican City, and it's actually a city inside of Rome, it has its own laws and tax codes, and like I've walked the walls outside of it. It's a very unique place. But when a pope passes away, you need a new pope. And they don't select the popes via like the draft lottery. They do it via vote. And in a conclave, it's one vote after another. But when you nail the winner, they send up, I believe it's white smoke through the chimney. So everyone gathers outside the Vatican and they look at a chimney for like a week, sometimes longer. Once in a while, you get like a short vote. Everyone has like dinner plans. But it's about a week where folks in Vatican City are just like, Tu veni the smoke? Nope, no veni. My Italian's bad, I'm sorry. But everyone's like, no smoke, smoke. That's the update. There's actually like every news channel just has the chimney in case there's white smoke. Right now, everyone is looking at MLSC offices downtown and looking up at the MLSC chimney and waiting for the blue smoke to come out about the new executive office and the new front office. Now, there's no smoke coming out of the chimney yet. We're all congregating. Everyone's looking at the MLSC chimney. No smoke. Eventually, there will be smoke. But man, is there a lot of smoke around waiting for the smoke. And like last night was a pretty good hockey night. There was a lot going on. Kyle Dubas sucks. These things happen all the time. It was a really enjoyable evening. Montreal wins. Very enjoyable evening. Marner, shockingly, an assist and 2 shots on goal. Quintessential Marner playoff performance. And they won in double overtime, and he did nothing. But we're all waiting on the Maple Leaf news. What happened over the last 24 hours reporting-wise in terms of the Maple Leafs front office search was shocking. And I rarely use that term in terms of a front office search, one that isn't even complete yet. But some of what was reported yesterday by a lot of people in this town who have done this for a long time almost had me fall off my couch. So let's start with Frege, who has been pretty consistent in his reporting that they're eyeing Matt Sundin and John Chayka as like a 1-2 in the Leafs front office. So that's, of everything I saw, that's the least shocking thing. And just on its own, it's still kind of shocking. One guy hasn't been in the league since 2020. The other guy, retired 17 years ago, has not been in the league at all, in Matt Sundin. So there's that. Then I go into the Toronto Sun website in the sports section, and Steve Simmons has another drop. Now, Steve's pretty consistent in his schedule in terms of the weekend column and this and that, but like when it's go time, like when the Bulls are in the streets of Pamplona, he is running with the Bulls on a story. And he had another column yesterday. And it was about Chayka and what's going on in terms of his connections to the Leafs search. One more time on John Chayka. He was 26 when he became GM of the Coyotes and left after a combine infraction where it cost the Coyotes a first and a second round pick. And he was basically banned for a calendar year because he was negotiating deals outside of his own for other teams. He also has the reputation of being extremely data-driven. Well, Steve Simmons kind of went there first. And there's a legendary story about John Chayka in his office. There was like 5 monitors on his desk. Looked like an internet trader. Like a ton. This is what Steve Simmons wrote yesterday. When Chayka was shown the door in Arizona in 2020, it was quickly determined that just one of the computer terminals on his massive desk was in working order. The other 5, with data frozen on each screen, were nothing but show. Okay. There's that. There's that. Azo and I can go an hour on that. Steve Simmons wasn't done. Steve then talked about John Chayka and some of the relationships he does have currently in and around the Toronto Maple Leafs. Simmons wrote the following. A few years ago, the popular Maple Leaf Ty Domi contacted me and asked if I was interested in having lunch with Chayka, who was looking to get back into the game. What I didn't know then was that Domi and Chayka had a relationship going back to junior hockey, when Chayka worked with Domi's son, Max, in strength and conditioning, and also helped monitor Max's diabetic circumstance throughout his junior hockey days. Ty became close to Chayka over that period of time. His best friend for most of his adult life has also been Matt Sundin, talking about Ty Domi. So again, the Max Domi story, I don't think we talk about enough with what he's overcome to be a National Hockey League player. He's overcome a lot. No question about it. And I didn't realize the Chayka-Domi connection was that strong. So now you have 2 people who are in line for jobs with Keith Pelly and MLSC and Matt Sundin and John Chayka. And they have 2 strong common allies in the same person, which is Ty Domi. So that's Steve Simmons yesterday. I'm not done. I believe it was the first or second intermission of the Habs-Tampa game last night. I saw this drop. I think it was strategic by the Athletic and well played. Well played. The byline has James Myrtle, Jonas Siegel, and Chris Johnston on it. And going forward, if you ever see those 3 on the same byline in an article about MLSC, Pelly refers to them as the 3 horses of the apocalypse, because they are bringing the heat. So the title that I saw on my notification, keep in mind I couldn't see the picture. I could just see the title. The title read, "What We're Hearing About the Maple Leafs Management Search." Then I click on the article, because I do subscribe to The Athletic, and I see a picture of Ty Domi. And I'm like, I'm sensing a pattern here. So Siegel, Myrtle, and CJ had a bunch of updates. It was a quick column, but extremely significant. You didn't get to see it? Don't worry. Walk with me. First note. Matt Sundin isn't the only former Leaf involved in the executive search. Ty Domi, Sundin's longtime pal from their playing days in Toronto, is playing a role in the search. In addition to Sundin, Domi has established relationships with Pelly and Chayka. We just talked about the Chayka connection. Ty's son and current Leaf, Max Domi, played for the Coyotes when Chayka was GM there. And that goes along with the junior hockey connection. Former Leaf Gary Roberts has also spoken to the team as part of the process. Now, I don't think the Roberts thing is overly new. That's been floated by a few people. I'm right, Azo? Yep. It's been floated a little bit.
Some people said.
But still relevant. They also go on to say the Leafs did not formally seek permission to speak to Doug Armstrong of the Blues, which is interesting. Also, in the column, one candidate who was interviewed described the process as professional. MLSE executive Humza Tarani is playing a key role in the search process, including in interviews. Now, this is the AI analytically driven, high-ranking executive at MLSE who's very close to Keith Pelly, and we talked about him ad nauseum, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Also, Neil Glassberg, whose firm was hired to aid the search, has also been in and around the interview process. It should be noted, and I think some of you are unaware of this, Neil Glassberg, who's running the Leaf search for MLSE, represents John Chayka. They have a business relationship. Another personal connection. Keep up with me on the personal connections as we go along here. Interviews have been led by Pelly. It was also noted that any decision on Craig Berube's future would be made by the new administration. So Pelly is washing his hands of this in terms of Berube, according to The Athletic. Here's where things, like you could make the argument things have already gone a little off the rails. Here's where I needed a moment and I had to take a walk. Keeping captain Austin Matthews and star forward William Nylander in Toronto has been noted in interviews as a priority for MLSE. I'm going to read that again. Keeping captain Austin Matthews and star forward William Nylander in Toronto has been noted in interviews as a priority for MLSE. Matthews, not surprised. Not even worth talking about. Maybe we should, but I'm not going to talk about that now. According to 3 reporters who know what they're doing, MLSE, in meetings with people, with prospective new executives and GMs, are saying we must keep William Nylander. So just so I'm clear, the guy who doesn't hit, the guy who cherry picks, the guy who stays out there way longer than he should in terms of shifts, the guy who gets first power play opportunities at every turn, the guy who once held out on this organization and nearly left it, the guy who once flipped the bird to a camera not that long ago, and the guy who, when he's in front of cameras, looks like he can barely read, MLSE feels they need to convince him that he should continue in Toronto. Really? Really? If that's true, if this reporting in The Athletic is true, that the Leafs are desperate to convince William Nylander to stay in this city, this organization is finished. And the only priority anyone has is maybe a couple of home playoff dates, if you're lucky. Maybe. Keeping William Nylander is not about winning a cup. We've seen enough out of William Nylander. You just don't have anyone in your system. You're desperate. The Leafs have to convince William Nylander he should be a Leaf? Nylander should be kissing the ground every day he's in this city at that price tag with that level of effort. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. All right, so they think Nylander's good. How does that feel? They think Nylander's a really important part of the team, guys. How does that feel? How does that feel? Does anyone in there know anything about hockey? Well, technically right now, no. Not even Berube. They think he's important to this. They think he's going to lead this child of a forward that you've signed for more money than he's worth. MLSE thinks he's going to lead them somewhere. That's adorable. I'm going to move on because I can spend another hour. The report in The Athletic also says Scott White hasn't been told, assistant GM in Dallas, hasn't been told he's out yet. Feels like he's out. But we don't know yet. In terms of Mike Gillis, because that's a name that we heard a lot in the early going, and it's kind of fizzled. Gillis, whose name has also been involved in the executive search, had a relationship with Chayka when Gillis ran the Canucks as Vancouver used Chayka's firm for analysis. Like Chayka, for those not familiar, has the side business in data that's rather profitable still. But the Leafs, however, remain uncertain as he hasn't been part of the later stages of the GM interview process. So they talked to Gillis early. It sounds like haven't talked to him lately. Here's where it gets really interesting. This is the last one. During his press conference after Brad Treliving's dismissal late last month, Pelly spoke about hockey observers he was leaning on for support. That group has included Ty Domi, Matt Sundin, Gary Roberts. It has also included others from Pelly's wider business network, including Todd Carroll, a former professional actor with a hockey background who met Pelly through Jay Monahan, commissioner of the PGA Tour, and worked with Pelly through his investment in Birmingham City Soccer Club. So Pelly's getting hockey advice from former actors. Great. Who is Todd Carroll? Good question. I didn't know him either. Canadian. You go to IMDb, and IMDb has a great section that's titled Known For. So any movie or show they'll put in there. Stop me if you've heard any of these shows that Todd Carroll has been a part of. Secret Society, Till Blood Do Us Part. Never heard of it. Club of Desire. Never heard of it. Daisy. Never heard of it. The Experience. Never heard of it. So that's who's got Pelly's ear in terms of hockey decisions. Actors you've never heard of. Wow. Wow. So, after going through all of that, and keep in mind, in fairness to Keith Pelly and MLSE, nothing's been decided publicly. We have had no MLSE letterhead saying press conference here, we're going to announce this, we're going to announce that, here's that title, here's this title. Nothing has been decided or announced publicly. And I got news for you. Considering all the leaks you're now seeing out of MLSE, if something's decided, we're going to know about it. The Brendan Shanahan days of secrecy are over. Pelly can't keep anything airtight. Now, as observers of the Leafs, that's titillating. I don't mind that. So the second something happens, we're going to know. We're going to know. But the one theme that has developed out of this is I know that person, let's work with that person, they're a good person. Like, I don't know where are they the best hockey person for the job has gone here. But considering all the personal intertwining of relationships that are being reported by good reporters in this city about the Leafs front office search, I am starting to get really, really, really worried about this. This is concerning. If it plays out in any way like this, it's people's buddies and just agendas everywhere you look in that front office. There will not be a non-biased eye in the place. If Ty Domi is involved, who's making an honest evaluation of Max Domi? Who is making an honest evaluation of William Nylander if Matt Sundin is doing it? Again, nothing's official. To be fair to Keith and everyone in MLSE, nothing is official yet. But this is terrifying if it plays out this way. The buddy system just went into effect inside MLSC to run the Leafs. The Leafs. Maybe this is unfair, but I'm going to say it. It has a circus feel already, and we haven't even really started. Chayka hasn't been in the league since 2020. Sundin's been retired for 17 years, has done nothing in the league. Ty Domi has no experience in a front office in the National Hockey League. Gary Roberts basically has no experience. Like, I don't know where this is going. Leaf fans need confidence right now. Your brand is injured. The brand has taken a hit. They need confidence in this. What, Pelly's talking to failed actors about hockey advice? What are we doing? What is this? Are the Muskoka Five about to return here? Is he or she the best hockey person for the job has left town is what I'm afraid of, guys. I'm already afraid that happened. As the rest of us look at the chimney and Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment and wait for the blue smoke to come out, the speculation is white hot around us. The inferno has already started at ground level, let alone in the air. This is going to be wild if this is how it plays out. And I know there's a lot of Leaf fans really uncomfortable with this, and I don't blame you. Some think it's great. If you have a positive feel about how buddy-buddy this is going to be, how Neil Glassberg, the agent for John Chayka, is going to get him the job, how Matt Sundin, the buddy of Ty Domi, is going to give Ty a job, how John Chayka, the buddy of Max and Ty Domi, is going to get Ty a job, how Gary Roberts, the buddy of Matt's and Ty Domi and Keith Pelly, are going to get Gary Roberts a job. They might as well just get Travis Green to coach. Just pillage him. If you're comfortable with all that, God bless. I'm not here to rain on your parade. You have decided this is amazing. There are severe conflicts of interest here that are very concerning if you're a Maple Leaf fan. And quite frankly, other players on the roster. Having Ty Domi involved if Max is on the roster is not appropriate. It is not appropriate. No one can convince me otherwise. If Keith Pelly wants to go down this road, it's his legacy. It's his legacy. Aside from that, there's no news on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, Azzo, I've spoken for a little bit there.
A little bit.
Where do you want to begin?
A little bit. Man, there's so much. I don't know where to start with that. How do you not have confidence if Legends Row is also your executive board? Why not? Or they're not even legends, to be fair. Like,
well, Sundin's there.
Yeah.
Sundin's
is that what Glassberg did? He went outside and you know, be good. These guys right here. But this seems so far from what we heard about the data-driven and like doesn't it?
Well, Chayka's not apparently.
Yeah. Well, that one bothers me too, though, because then there's also reports that if they do hire him, like Shane Doan's gone. I don't understand. Like that relationship doesn't say.
You knew Shane Doan was gone when the Canucks asked for permission recently to speak to him. And the Leafs went, okay.
No, but I'm saying apparently his relationship with Chayka isn't good, and I want to know why.
Well,
because Shane Doan's pretty respected in this business.
We're not going to know why. That's not going to come to light. But
I'm just saying, for me, it's a bit of a red flag.
What did Shane Doan do for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, hold on, I'm going to push back on that a little bit.
No.
What did he do? You don't know. I don't know what he did for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What the hell was Shane Doan
doing? But he is
doing?
respected in some hockey circles. Well, what I'm saying,
there's a lot of people. Matt Sundin's respected. He has no experience at this.
Yeah.
You can't, like, because someone's respected, all of a sudden they have to have a job. That's not how that works.
I know, but I'm saying a guy who was previously important to you or an AGM for you doesn't like this guy, and so you kind of kick him to the door. Like, there's got to be a reason there. And if I'm Pelly, I'd want to know why. I'm not that interested if I'm Pelly. And
Shane
but there are other stories. Like you put up that story about his computers, only one of them working.
That's not a good story.
Did you read the one?
That's not a good story.
You mentioned it yesterday. Dangle threw out that other article, which was pretty concerning when you read through that too. Like when he took the job, he had a company that was doing data or like analytics on teams. And while he was working the Arizona job, he was selling that data to other teams.
Kind of shady. Kind of shady.
What?
Yeah.
Like this whole process put through?
Listen. I don't know how this is going to work. Spike in the chat. Chayka is sketch beyond belief.
Yeah.
Keith Pelly better know what he's doing with John Chayka.
I agree.
Everything else around this is also a little left of center for me. Just a little, especially the Ty Domi connection with Max on the team.
But there's no data to support that.
The John Chayka selection is on Keith Pelly. Don't blame Neil Glassberg. Don't blame a search firm. You're a grown adult. This is your responsibility. Every red flag on Chayka is up. Up. From every hockey person in the city and a lot across the country in the league. Someone doesn't want him getting this job. You think Steve Simmons stumbled upon that story on his own?
Of course not.
There are people in this town and across the league who are throwing up in their mouth at the thought of John Chayka getting another shot, let alone with an organization as valuable as this one. Keith Pelly better know what he's doing, because he will be laughed out of town, and Shapiro will have that job in 18 months if this goes sour. Yep. If this goes sour, Pelly will be a joke in this town after being a pretty respected executive for all of his career. All of his career. Keith Pelly came out of nowhere at TSN and became a star behind the scenes. A star. Goes to Sportsnet, basically does the same thing. Spends a lot of money on the hockey rights, but basically does the same thing. Goes to Europe, gets a great gig with the European tour. Like, this is not a guy who's made bad bets a lot in his career. Couple here and there. Everyone has bad bets on there. If you're an executive at that level, you got a loss on your record.
Take chances.
100%.
Yeah, they're not all going to work out.
The world is screaming at you. This is the stuff we know about Azzo.
I know.
I don't know about the other stuff behind the scenes with John Chayka. You better know what you're doing, Keith. You will be held 100. This isn't Ed. This isn't Tony. This is you.
Yep.
They are too smart to be on the hook for this guy. This is Keith Pelly's responsibility. He better know what he's doing. That is insane, the amount of red flags now out on this guy.
Exactly.
Insane.
That's all I was trying to bring up. Like, you better do your full background search on this guy.
Oh, and I'm sure the search firm, who's also his agent, really did the full background on John Chayka. Really?
Yeah, okay.
Really?
Let's go there.
Really?
Let's go there. So you're telling me, did this search firm, are they the ones suggesting Sundin, Domi, all these guys? I'm like, at this point, include Mike Johnson, who had lunch with Sundin over at the Olympics, because he has some great thoughts. We all know Mike's a smart guy. Put him with them, too. What about Darcy Tucker, who used to be an agent? He's got some experience. Put him in there, too. Let's just get all these guys back.
By the way, do you know
crazy?
Do you know what I've been doing that's a little weird? I've been eyeing the Mike Johnson TSN appearances like a hawk to see if he starts pulling back.
That's interesting.
Now, because he wasn't on Overdrive yesterday, but he was on First Up today, I believe.
Really?
Like, he's kept the same schedule from what I can tell. I don't know the schedule. But I'm like way interested to see when all of a sudden you just don't see Mike Johnson on TSN.
Did he publicly say he would be interested? I thought
he told a pod.
Did, right?
He told one of the pods.
Yeah,
it's something I would like to explore.
Right,
and he wasn't kidding.
I remember
when he said
that.
It.
Yeah, no, of course
he was not kidding when he said that.
Yeah,
and
it is weird. Glassberg's in these interviews, right? Like, doesn't the search firm just point you in the direction?
See, that's the part of this that I'm not really fazed by.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Well, it's part of the search firm.
Yeah, but
where do you want
just supposed to give you the candidates and then you
want him to
do
be
it?
outside the door? But I guess if he's the agent to Chayka, maybe it is a little fishy. You know what? I take it back. I think you're right. If he's representing John Chayka and part of these search firms, him in the room is a little weird to me. You're right.
It's not a search and interview firm. It's a search. I thought they just bring you the candidates and then you make the choice.
Moose in the chat. I'm scared. I'd be scared too. This is last night was the first time, Azzo, I looked at all this and I went, this doesn't feel right.
Right. That name's just don't make
This
sense.
doesn't feel right.
By the way, were those shows Baby Blue movies, maybe? Is that why we don't know?
Oh, I don't know. One of them
are they on like too late for us to watch?
No,
are they on in the middle of the night?
Only one of them had a rating, I'll tell you that.
Oh my God.
And it was 7.8. Like,
were they produced by Frank D'Angelo? What happened here?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh man.
But I couldn't this feels off. Azzo, this feels off. The whole thing feels
weird. The only thing to me that doesn't feel off is the keeping of Matthews and Nylander. Because those are, honestly, I know you say Keith Pelly mentioned a lot of players when he talked about foundational pieces, but it's only those two he meant.
No, well, he said them all. The only one he didn't say was Morgan Riley.
But I tell you, it's only those two.
But why? But if you're the Leafs, let's have this conversation. It's Austin
Matthews and William Andrew Michael Jr. Nylander Altelius.
How many people in the city of Toronto believe William Nylander will help lead them to a Stanley Cup? Let's get it out there.
Yeah, but
let's have the conversation. What's the point of this? We're in the city of Toronto. What is the point of this? We're not the Bruins retooling. We want to win a cup.
I can almost say the same thing about Austin, though.
Different story. I think so. I think Austin has good
hockey. They have the same amount of points in the playoffs and the same amount of games.
He has a horrible head coach who doesn't know how to use them. I do not put Nylander and Matthews in the same boat right now. I don't.
Out of all of them, I think he has a killer instinct more than anybody. Does he bring it out most of the time?
Who? Nylander?
Like when he wants to, he can show it.
Jesus Christ, As.
I mean,
William Nylander has a killer instinct?
No, he does. I said the most out of all of them. It means none of them have.
That means he has a 2 out of 10 killer instinct.
Exactly. It's true.
Oh my God.
Like he can turn it up when he wants to. I've seen it more out of him than I have out of other guys. Like at that point, then you're starting. But we know this because he said retool, and you got to retool around something.
You do no, but that's the point. That is the scariest thing I've heard so far, that they think Nylander is needed after last season. Nylander did everything in his power to get traded from this hockey team last year.
What else do they have? When you're going to retool, you have to have something stay in place.
If you want to make the first round of the playoffs, you need Nylander. Cool. You're not winning a cup with Nylander.
But that's what
you're not winning 2 rounds with Nylander. All they care about is a few dates. That's the priority.
Yeah, but
it's crazy how that organization's run.
Is that what they want? Because they've been happy with it for a decade to make the first round of the playoffs.
Saying we need to keep William Nylander based on everything we've seen from William Nylander. He is not a leader. He is not a tip of the spear guy. He is not a physical presence. He bailed on Matthews after the knee.
True.
Keith Pelly has the nerve to talk about culture at the dais on March the 31st and say we need to change the culture. And you're still going to say we need Nylander? Are you okay? They don't get it, man. They do not get it.
I agree.
Nylander is a poison to you in that room. A poison. And there are people in that organization who are like, we need this guy. For what? What do you need this guy for? He held out for half a year on your ass. You should have traded him there for Pesci or whatever defenseman you can get for him. You need William Nylander? I'm about to blow a blood vessel.
I know.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. William Nylander's needed now. He's needed.
To make the playoffs.
So Max Domi will never be traded because Ty's going to be in the front office. They need William Nylander to get at least 2 home playoff dates because that apparently helps make the money because they're charging people $100 to hit the button. So they're way more broke than we realize. Way more broke than we realize at Rogers Sports Entertainment. And now all of a sudden, no one's going to be moved ever. Nylander's not going anywhere. Max Domi's not going anywhere after this season. Are you serious?
Again, but I can throw Austin into that mix too. As much as I like him as a player, they have the same amount of points in the playoffs and the exact same number of games.
Look,
one game apart.
I'm not a fan of Austin's Game 7 record either. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of Austin's Game 7 record. But I don't think both are equal right now. At least Austin was playing in his own end a little bit. At least Austin was taking like way more defensive face-offs than William Nylander. Way more.
Is Austin healthy? Nylander plays more. I'm saying
no. You know what? We're not doing that more with Austin's healthy. I don't care if he's healthy or not. If he doesn't care, if we know, then I don't care if he's healthy.
What did you say in the first part with the Raptors? Best ability is availability.
Yes.
Like, come on, man. Like, we've trusted in, or they've trusted in this core for 9 years, and we know none of them have.
They're running it back again.
None of them have.
They're running it back again.
You can't win with this group at all.
Oh my God, they're running it back again. KP in the chat, Sid, the show's title: I'm going to blow a blood vessel. Write it down, Ezra.
Okay.
I like that one. KP, you got the show title today. Railside says Willie is a better player than Matthews. Sure.
The chat's really torn. I'm getting like a lot of people saying, if I see you, I'm going to slap you because of saying that. But then other people saying he is the guy that has that bit of instinct. Again, it's not much. You're right.
But you know what I find?
It's a 2 out of 10.
Like, I have to be honest with you. I think people that think William Nylander is a winning hockey player don't watch other games. I hate to phrase it that way, but I think it's true.
I think if he's on a good team.
I think you haven't watched a lot of playoff hockey.
If he's with other guys who are scoring, he's going to want to keep up with them. Like, if one of them brings it, it might bring more out of him. I don't know. But you're right. It's been a decade, and we haven't seen anything from any of these guys in big moments. In big moments, they disappear. So can you win with any of them? Mark
in the chat, I'm so happy you're exposing Nylander. I'm not. It's there to see for years. I'm not exposing anything. Joshua in the chat, coffee. Sid needs a nice herbal chamomile tea. I could go for one, actually. I hear it's very tranquil, those teas.
Maybe Willie got me when he told Marner to stop crying. That's the only part of Williams' career I love.
Please. And he was being selfish about that, too.
Yeah, it's true.
He was being selfish about that, too. Moose in the chat. Nylander, not a winner.
We know that. None of them are, though.
Dan in the chat. The people that like Nylander should be kicked out of this chat. That's a bit much.
It's pretty like a
rail side in the chat. Sid needs a beer. It's a decent idea. Did we get the fridge yet?
No.
We didn't get the beer fridge.
I thought you didn't want it. You're changing your mind.
No. I did not change my mind on that.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know, man. This is getting ridiculous.
Anything else in there of all that reporting? The Athletics, Steve Simmons, like, what do you want to hit on? What did I miss? What did I miss?
I don't know. It's just, it becomes all alum and exact. Like, how do we go from one to...
They're all buddies, dude.
No, I know.
If this plays out the way it's being reported, I don't know. Again, we don't know the titles at all, but everyone's a buddy.
We're going to have a roster of AGMs now.
So who makes final decision?
Crazy.
Is Ty Domi making the final call on a draft pick, on a trade? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't even know what to say. It's true.
Ty Domi runs in some big circles. Like he is a power broker.
VP of the penalty
power
box.
broker. Like so Gary Roberts is making calls. Is Matt's making calls? What are we doing?
Somebody says Drake's his buddy, Bieber's his buddy. Bring them all in.
That press, if John Chayka and Matt Sundin and Ty Domi and Gary Roberts are sitting there with Keith Pelly whenever this press conference happens, Keith has some explaining to do. A lot of explaining to do.
You think he thinks that's a win, though? Just by bringing these, like, loved players back or whatever, however you want to...
Look, listen, let's remember what Keith Pelly is professionally. As a TV executive, he is about the show.
Yeah, exactly.
His instinct is, whoa, the Leafs did what? That's the instinct. The Scott Whites of the world, assistant GM of Dallas, and whoever else he interviewed, isn't as sexy to him. Just isn't. Like a Kevin Cheveldayoff or like a Brad Treliving would hire maybe the Scott Whites of the world to work below him if they had a higher title. You know what I'm saying? Like an older school hockey guy would maybe look at a traditional AGM type of promotion for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Keith Pelly is a TV guy at his core.
It's true. It's a good way of putting it.
Entertainment value is what he values. And that's kind of where this is going.
Can I say something? If I'm Scott White, I pull myself out of this job because it seems like he's their plan B maybe if this Sundin thing doesn't get done. How are you just letting this guy twist in the wind? You're obviously their second choice.
I'm with you. I would do the exact same thing. Yes.
You don't think you can use me? You don't want to just hire me? You're leaving me sitting here? Sorry.
Guys, my team's getting ready to play the Wild tonight in a game that matters.
No kidding.
Not that you would know anything about that, but I got a game tonight that matters. I'm just see ya.
But is that a bigger win? Like saying, look, we're bringing this guy in from a winning organization, or here's 5 alum guys who we think can help change the culture. It's all bizarre. And again, it's so far from the data-driven stuff. Like, how many people are going to be on this board?
Ray Bay in the chat. So essentially, forgive me, Ray Bay, I lost it. There's a lot coming through.
There's a lot.
So essentially, we're just going to hire some of our fan favorites from 2003, 2005.
Exactly. Does he think that's the goodwill he needs from the fan base right now?
Like, definitely. Obviously, that's what's going on. Now, listen, Gary Roberts knows hockey. Matt Sundin knows hockey. Ty Domi played a long time in that league. I'm not saying they don't know hockey. What I'm saying is, when you get people who know each other that intensely, Ty Domi's son is on the team, man.
Yep. It's true.
Does anyone else not think that's a problem? Am I the only one that thinks that's maybe a conflict of interest?
I was about to say.
Maybe. Neil Glassberg is the agent for John Chayka, who you are hiring to hire an agent through their search firm. Does anyone else think that's a problem? No one. Whew. Wow.
This is funny. M. Bell in the chat. There's a podcast where these 2 kids just make up crap to have content. You guys are reminding me of that. Like, we made this up. This is on the news. Steve Simmons, The Sun, The Athletic. We're not making this up.
We're about to ring your bell. Wait till you see what's about to happen
what is
here.
Going on? This isn't us making this up.
But this is funny to me. There are Leaf fans who are terrified at this.
I agree.
There's some Leaf fans who are like, great, my favorite Leafs are back. And there are fans like M. Bell who just sent in a chat who are like, guys, this is so crazy. You have no idea what you're talking about. They're terrified. Terrified.
They don't want to believe it.
They don't want to believe it. Oh, doctor.
Like,
Believe it.
What are the titles? Like Gary Roberts is going to be the VP of Health and Exercising, whatever. Ty Domi's the VP of the penalty box.
Ty Domi is the vice president of That's My Buddy. That's what he's the vice president of. I don't know where this is going, man. I'm stunned. I'm stunned at what this has turned into. Stunned. Nothing but inexperience and agendas. That's what this looks like from the outside looking in. Again, in fairness to MLSE and Keith Pelly and the Leafs, nothing's been decided. Nothing. This is all reporting.
So you know what my other biggest takeaway is that Hamza Tarania is key in all this. He's in there with it.
We knew that.
No, yeah. But it's I think it's staking the claim on that he's a part of these meetings. He's asking a lot of the questions, I believe is what the piece said.
Well,
like he's very key in this. Again, it might be his system that has final say for all these guys.
Yeah, it might be. At the end of the day, Pelly might have some say here, man.
Pelly has him beside him on everything.
A shooter in the chat, Ty is VP of fighting.
Right?
Yep. Michael in the chat, Domi, VP of punching faces. Yep. Very qualified to do that.
Punching fans. You don't like what I'm doing? Come here.
I still love the Philadelphia
That's
moment.
so good. It's one of the greatest moments ever.
I still love that.
Yeah.
Maybe Joe, was it Harry Neal's best call ever? Watch the lawsuit.
Amazing.
Shout out Harry Neal. Watch the lawsuit, Ty. One of the greats.
Yeah. Anyway, it is bizarre, man. And just more and more info. Like nothing getting done, just stuff coming out.
Here's an interesting one from Spike in the chat. Toronto needs a second team.
You know that's not happening.
Again, listen. I don't know how it's going to look. No, very few Leaf fans can read any of what's been reported in the last 24 hours and feel overly comfortable. So who makes final decisions?
It's the question everybody wants to know.
So who makes final decisions?
Because none of these guys are president of hockey ops. So who does it?
So Azzo, that's not the only Leaf thing I came across.
Oh boy, more? Yeah.
So
we're talking about them more now than when they were in the playoffs.
The Leafs are more fascinating off the ice than on the ice this season. So yeah, if you're done with the William Nylander experience, buckle up. Because reportedly the Leafs feel he's indispensable.
By the way, you blew by it. Did you hear what his full name is? William Andrew Michael Jr. Nylander Altelius.
Sorry, that's William Nylander's first name?
Full name.
Or full name.
He's got 5 names. Or 6, sorry. Look up his Wikipedia. Look at that name. Tell me what it is.
That's kind of kick-ass for a name.
I know. We could call him Wham. W-A-M. William
Wham.
Andrew Michael
Wham.
Jr. Nylander Altelius.
The thing he never does because he doesn't hit.
Right.
Non-Wham. So like someone in the chat mentioned a second team. And it leads down the road of the brand of the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is entering joke-like levels with reports that we've seen. Like a former actor you've never heard of is in Pelly's ear about hockey. Holy cow. This article in The Sun was also circulating yesterday. And there's a couple of brothers who are lawyers who were given Leaf tickets by a friend, and these two brothers offered them up to a class, one of the schools in Toronto. And the story is none of the kids were that interested to go to the Leaf game. It was a lot of Raptor and TFC fans. And these two guys were shocked. It's like, what's going on with the Leafs? So they've started a school program aiming at curbing decline in Maple Leafs and hockey interest across the GTA. It's a program called Stronger Together. It launched just recently, and it features student projects, VIP speakers. I think Rick Vive's been at one of these.
Okay.
And they're going to a bunch of schools in and around the Toronto area to remind kids that the Leafs are a thing and that you can be a part of hockey. Now, I think one of the problems that they are running into is twofold. One, there are new Canadians to this country who don't know a lot about hockey that way. They're familiar with soccer, familiar with basketball, familiar with a lot of things. The other problem they're running into is it doesn't matter how long you've been in Canada, you're getting priced out of hockey, whether you like it or not.
Sure.
And one of the messages that this group at Toronto Schools is trying to send to the kids is the following. A big part of the message is you don't have to wear a team sweater to feel part of the game. You can be a coach, referee, manager, trainer, stats person, or write about the game, or play ball hockey, field hockey, even tabletop hockey.
There you go.
Now, much love to everyone across Ontario and Canada who referees minor hockey, who's a trainer, who's a manager, stats person. We need people in the penalty boxes. We need people to open the boxes. It's a whole ecosystem of volunteers and people doing amazing work. Shout out to all of you. But like, that's the message that's being sent. Like, just because you can't afford to be a part of hockey doesn't mean you can't be hockey. I think big picture, it's an interesting discussion in terms of what's happening with kids and the Leafs. And there have been people trying to sound this alarm in this town for a few years, ever since really 2019 when the Raptors had their run. And the pushback has always been they're the Leafs. You're the Leafs until you're a laughingstock again. Now, the laughingstock Leafs of the 80s was different. No social media, no Raptors, no TFC, no streaming, no screen time. Different time. The Leafs could be bad in the 80s, and Harold Ballard could be a disgrace as an owner. People would still find their way in front of a TV on a Saturday night to watch Dave Hodge and Hockey Night in Canada. We do not live in that world anymore with young people. We do not. Whether you've just come to Canada with your family starting a new life, or you've been here for 10, 15 years as a kid. You have a lot of choices in this town. And the responsibility on Keith Pelley to get this right, not just on the ice, but off the ice in terms of the image of the Toronto Maple Leafs, is glaring and obvious for all to see. Things that I have read over the last 24 hours fly in the face of that. It's the branding of the team that's a problem. And are the Leafs going to not make money soon? No, I'm not saying that. Only a fool would suggest that. But you have to fight for the attention of kids nowadays if you're entertainment. I don't see the Leafs fighting very hard. I see lazy decisions left and right. And it's something to think about. It really is. It's something to think about. And like every generation, it's a tough term, but ages out. Things change. Things change. There might be, if you're 10 and under in this country, you're more of a Jays fan than a Leafs fan. If you're 15 and under, you might be leaning more Raptors Jays than Leafs, based on what the last several years have been like. Something to think about. Something to think about. And I don't know if the Leafs think about that enough, Azo. I don't think they do. And again, they still make a ton of money. They still make a ton of money.
But they've been relying on that for so long.
But at some point, if they're not relevant, they won't make as much money. And the funniest part to me is like this program that's going into schools talking to kids. God bless. You're volunteering your time, and good for you. You want to get kids on board? Win. This is not a complicated town. Nope. Toronto is a very straightforward sports town.
Look what the Jays did last year. Or have superstars that show up when they need to. Like Vince, right?
Well,
no.
Vince didn't always show up.
I know, but I'm saying he was the face of a league for a while, or the face of the team. He was winning slam dunk contests. Right. And that's what gets kids interested, and then they want to be him. Or if kids are playing hockey, they watch more hockey because they want to emulate their superstars.
No, it's true. It's true.
And it's all getting lost. But the Leafs have relied on we're the Leafs for a long time. And somebody said in the chat, it's become a status thing more to go to a game.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
D2 in the chat, it's coming to an end. Doesn't matter who they hire, they need to change the culture. I mean, if the culture is as bad in the front office as it is in the room, how do you fix that? How do you fix that? It can't be a circus in both places. It cannot with the Leafs. A lot of discussion as to who the bigger team is right now in Toronto. I mean, hell, with the World Cup coming through town a little bit, watch what happens to soccer here. I know TFC right now is almost like a dead zone. You need a Wi-Fi extender to get life in there. But soccer is going to be on the tip of everyone's tongue here very soon.
Josh Sargent's changing.
Yeah. He'll change it if he gets two shots per game.
If he's
How about
value?
2 shots per game?
Because nothing sells the sport like value.
Chippy in the chat, Chippy Orange. Parents can't afford the sport. Either putting their kids into it or going to watch it live.
I mean,
that's kind of it, isn't it?
It's true, but I think to your point, you got to capture kids' imaginations. Like you can still take your kid to a rink, play shinny, do stuff, right? But there's video games now where they watch videos of other people playing video games. Like it's insane how you have to compete for kids' attention these days.
That whole Twitch thing is crazy.
It's insane, dude.
I've never understood the watching of other people play video games.
Almost every kid does it, or like just if you allow them to, they get absorbed by it.
Yeah. I don't listen, you have to really work for entertainment.
Yes.
But the easy way is like win. You would like win. You can't be this. If you're this, you're like the Leafs have lost a lot of kids over the last 5-10 years. No question about it. It's going to get worse. This roster is not playable in terms of playoff hockey. It is not. It's old and slow and incompetent in every area.
They're not fun.
They're not fun. They do not play for each other. William Nylander will not stick up for his captain. Why do I have to support that if I'm a kid? I'm asking the question.
Again, man. Look what the Jays did, how fun they were to watch last year, a run to the World Series where they didn't even win it. Dude, they just sold out 3 games at 42,000 each game.
Yep. Midweek series.
Against
a last place team. Now, the Red Sox are the Red Sox.
Oh,
but a last place team in the Red Sox.
Give me Oakland. Give me Colorado. Guys, people are filling up that stadium every single night of the week or a day of the week.
Sean in the Yukon writes, guys, watch me play Tecmo Bowl. I'll watch people play Tecmo Bowl.
Big Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
That's it.
By
Get
the
off
way,
me. Get off me.
Everyone Bo Jackson's. The Niners team in that game is sadistic too.
Yeah.
Between Jerry Rice and Roger Craig, running a sweep with Roger Craig. Underrated football player.
I
Roger
agree.
Craig. Underrated. Hall of Famer. Eventually got there.
Eventually.
Richard in the chat, poor Willie catching strays. No. He's making 11-5. He's catching the appropriate number of strays.
But Kelly wants to know, have you asked Willie why he won't stand up for Austin? Maybe there could be a reason.
Oh, sounds like there's something there.
Yeah, maybe.
I haven't heard anything.
Kelly, you know something? Come on.
I haven't heard anything. All right. And so that's the latest with the Leafs. I could not believe some of what I read. If Ty Domi runs the Leafs.
Well, he's not going to run it.
You don't know that.
I don't. It's true.
Sorry. I don't want to turn every argument into you don't know that, because we can do that about a lot of things, you and I. I hate that. But you don't know that.
No, but he would have to be under Mats, right? If Mats is bringing him in, I would assume.
Who in this setup doesn't like Ty Domi? Let's go through the list. Does John Shaker like Ty Domi? Yes.
Yes.
Does Matt Sundin like Ty Domi? Yes. Does Gary Roberts like Ty Domi? I'm going to say yes.
Obviously.
Does Keith Pelly like Ty Domi? Yes. Does Max Domi like Ty Domi? Yes.
And if you don't like Max Domi, he'll punch you or Ty Domi, he'll punch you in the face.
VP of punching in the face.
Yeah. That's why. Sure, Ty. I'd agree with him.
The only thing about this that I would like to see is Humza Tarani and Ty Domi have an AI discussion in a boardroom about a player. That I want to see.
That would be pretty good.
That I want to see.
Maybe he wants to sell his show, like The Rebuild or whatever.
The Rebuild? What are you talking about?
The Rebuild, the Montreal, Crave Montreal.
No. We're done. No. I don't want to see how the sausage is made. I don't want to see another behind-the-scenes Leafs thing.
You just don't want to see the train coming, huh? You don't want to see the train coming.
I've seen the train coming. The train is here, and it's on our face.
I know.
Okay? The train is coming. The train arrived 8 minutes ago at the GO station and is undergoing maintenance.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
where you go
that's where we're at.
Yep.
You want to talk Jays?
I guess. Or should we stick on hockey quickly? Just go around the series.
Let's go around the series.
Yeah.
How about Martin St. Louis and the Montreal Canadiens? Martin St. Louis is the best coach in hockey. I'm not saying he's coach of the year this year, but like just pound for pound, generally.
A short joke?
Nope.
Cool.
He is the best coach in the National Hockey League. Brendan Gallagher, prior to last night, had scored 1 goal since like February the 4th. And in game 5 of a series, tied at 2, Martin St. Louis puts Brendan Gallagher back in the lineup. Oliver Kapanen out. Gallagher scores right away. Goes to the net. Does a thing where he goes to the net. It's funny how that works in hockey. And the Montreal Canadiens are up 3-2, and it is going to be a madhouse at the Bell Center tomorrow night. Madhouse. The Habs are going to win the series tomorrow night.
Yes.
Habs are going to win the series tomorrow night, and they're going to take on the Boston Bruins in round 2 because the Sabres are going to choke on it.
Whoa.
Yep. Heard me right. I don't have to see any of these idiots on rollerblades anymore in Buffalo. I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't find it that interesting.
It's not.
The Boston Bruins
Had its moment.
the Boston Bruins should have been slayed the other night, and the Sabres don't have the balls to do it. Bruins are alive and well. We'll get to that another day. But the Habs did it. Tough hockey game last night. Mike Matheson, who I thought had a tough evening, still had 4 blocks. They had a huge series at the end where they just blocked a ton of shots, the Habs. And it was Gallagher with a huge moment early in the hockey game. Alex Carrier had 4 blocks in the hockey game. There were a lot of pluses, a lot. But Gallagher's the guy no one expected to jump out there and score right away. First game of the series. And he scored, and it was a tremendous move by Martin St. Louis. Here's Brendan Gallagher after the game.
Exciting. The guys been playing great hockey. It's been a fun series to watch. And coming in, I just tried to follow their lead, find a way to contribute. And, I thought I was able to do that, but the group right now is really dialed in, playing some really solid hockey, and it's fun to be a part of. It's the same now as it was my first year in the league. You just take nothing for granted, and I know how good this group is. I know how deep they are, and so opportunities are going to be limited. Doesn't mean they're not going to come. You just got to be ready when they do. And like I said, it's a really talented group. It's a very deep group, and we have a lot of guys that can get the job done. And when your number's called, you just want to make sure that you're accountable to your teammates and, get the job done as well.
Love that guy. Love that guy. And Martin St. Louis, I didn't pull the clip, but there was a comment from Martin St. Louis post-game last night where he said about putting Gallagher in for Kapanen. Gallagher likes to go to the front of the net, and he feels like it's about the time of the series somebody did that. It's kind of a backhanded Suzuki Caulfield kind of thing, if I'm being honest. But whatever. Those two need to wake up.
Yeah.
I do think they need a little Suzuki Caulfield in their lives.
It's amazing they're up in this series without them performing.
But that's how good a coach St. Louis is.
I agree. We said Tampa kind of had the momentum going into that game. They needed something like that from Gallagher to change it. And can I give a shout out? What I think is getting overlooked here is Dobish too. He's the new Vasilevsky.
About to say.
I think he's 15-2-2 coming off a loss.
He's so damn good, Dobish.
Yeah, but especially off a loss again.
And he has that edge too.
Yeah.
Who did he hit the other night coming by him? I think it was it Hagel?
I believe
somebody gave him the gears the other night. I can't. Oh no, it was Kucherov. Kucherov was like, "Woo!" And I think he gave him the little.
I saw the little shove.
Joshua in the chat. What an effing game!
That's true.
I agree. That was a tremendous hockey game in Tampa last night. So, Jack in the chat. If they win the cup with Gallagher, I'm going to cry. Yeah.
Well, somebody said, what's he making? And he's only playing under 10 minutes a game. A-Money said Gallagher making 6.5 sheets, playing 6 minutes a night, but showing up when they need to. And
100% he's showing up.
And everybody else on good contracts, so why not? Some veteran leadership.
100%. Anthony in the chat. Sounds like a law firm, Suzuki and Caulfield. Hurt in a car accident? Call Suzuki and Caulfield.
Hurt on the ice? Slip on some ice?
There you go. It rhymes. It rhymes. So the Habs are on the brink here, and I think they're going to do it tomorrow night. I do. Brandon Hagel can't save him every night, guys. Can't save him every night. He is, if you prick him, he will bleed. Go Habs tomorrow. That's going to be amazing. And what's also amazing is, once again, looking back at a Pittsburgh Penguins season and come to the realization they haven't won a playoff series in 8 years. Crosby, Malkin, and Letang haven't won a playoff series in 8 years.
Yikes.
Look, I'm all for old Lang Syne. Maybe it's time you kind of do something. Yeah. Now, I know the pressure with Sidney Crosby in Pittsburgh. Pens lost last night, by the way. Obviously, Game 6 to Philadelphia, 1-0. But to me, that opens up once again the conversation. Evgeny Malkin. How old is Evgeny Malkin? Evgeny Malkin is old. 39 years old.
Whoa, really?
Yep.
Holy.
Unrestricted free agent coming up. Still a solid player. Sidney Crosby's 38 years old. 1 year left on his deal. 1 year. Chris Letang, couple years left on his deal. He's 39 years old. Azo, do you want to check in on all of the Kyle Dubas acquisitions throughout the year and see how they did in this first round series?
No, I'm good.
Because it just so happens I have some of the stats
Oh, yeah.
on Kyle Dubas's acquisitions. Igor Chinnikov, no points in 6 games, -4. Anthony Mantha, a lot better, 1 point in 6 games, -5.
There you go.
Yeah. Samuel Girard, now he's not an offensive defenseman, but -1 in the series. And Stuart Skinner at one point was not playable. Not playable. But hey, if Kyle Dubas can throw out Letang and Malkin and Crosby, you got a chance. But stop me if you heard this before. Kyle Dubas and his hockey team didn't get out of the first round. So after the game, I'm always fascinated by a post-series loss, Sidney Crosby. Tough year for Crosby, obviously. Got hurt at the Olympics. Came back, willed his team across the line, and they lose to Philly in the first round. By the way, good for Rick Tocchet. And once again, a window into the dysfunction of the Vancouver Canucks. Rick Tocchet can coach, man. He's good. He wanted no part of that after a while. He knew what was going to happen. Good for Rick Tocchet. Sidney Crosby spoke last night, and somebody asked him in the room, can you believe you've gone through another journey here with Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang? And I urge you to listen right up until the very end. I know you always do. But listen right up to the very end of this clip from Sidney Crosby, and you get an early clue as to what he wants to see happen for next year. Hit it.
To put into words, honestly. It's something that we probably have just gotten used to. But I think they're like family. I think that's the best way to describe it. And we've had some great wins, some tough losses like this, and ultimately though, that's a long time that we've played together, and just so appreciative for the opportunity to be able to play with them as long as we have, and hopefully we can keep going.
Hopefully we keep going. I am never going to disparage Sidney Crosby on a mic. That's not happening. But when you look at this roster in Pittsburgh, I think it's time to move on from Evgeny Malkin. Yeah. I think it's time to move on. Erik Karlsson has 1 year left at 10. You can get someone to take 10 next year. Cap's going up by 9. That is a very movable contract to me. Now,
maybe a team looking to do a quick retool.
Are you? Hold on.
No, I'm just saying.
Are you being serious about Toronto and Erik Karlsson?
I'm just throwing it out there. That's all. That's all I try and do on the show. Just throw some stuff out there. Why not?
Can I throw it back? Can I throw it
better
back?
Than most of the D they have? I don't know.
He's not a defenseman. He's a
forward. Sorry.
No, he is. He's not a real defenseman.
Yeah, no.
He's a forward who's played defenseman his whole career. But that's he has no movement. He'll have a say.
Right.
But you can teams will have openings for that.
No.
And Karlsson in a good year by his standards. He is 35. Chris Letang has 2 years left at 6.1 with some no movements in there too. He's 39. Chris Letang's 39. The mileage on this team is crazy. Yeah. Now, I'm not even going to bring up Crosby because I think Crosby's retiring as a Penguin.
He has to.
Because he'll decide that.
Unless he wants to go to the Habs.
If Kyle Dubas cares about getting his ass kicked in the streets, he will not even contemplate moving Sidney Crosby. Because if you give Crosby the out of, we don't want you anymore, then Crosby will give you the okay, and you will be painted as the heel, not Crosby.
Definitely.
That's how that's going to work in Pittsburgh. By the way, I saw a couple of comments in the chat. I haven't seen the Kyle Dubas video on losing in the first round. Did you see the Kyle Dubas video losing in the first round? I missed that, Azo.
Did they put one after they won 2 games maybe?
I don't know.
We're back in the series.
Weird thing.
Only the lose.
Weird thing. I think Crosby aside, I think it's time in Pittsburgh to start to work around this core and start to look ahead. Now, what you're looking ahead to, I'm not quite sure. All of these great pickups that Kyle Dubas made during the year that everyone's telling me about all fizzled like a fart in the wind in the first round. They did. You wanted the numbers again?
No.
Chinnikov, nothing. Mantha, nothing. Girard, -1. Skinner wasn't a goalie by the end of it. And it's weird that Skinner had to be pulled in the playoffs considering he's always pulled in the playoffs. Always.
Still better than Jari, no? Anyway. I'm just saying
Jari was better the other night than Skinner.
That's true. I'm just saying we've seen this before from a put together Kyle Dubas team.
Yes, we have.
Not surprising.
Yes, we have. I just don't know. I just think if give me the reason you re-sign Malkin.
No, you're right.
Give me the reason you don't talk to people about a 35-year-old Erik Karlsson. I think 1 year of Karlsson at 10 mil for 35 on a contending team.
Yeah.
That's tasty to me if I'm hungry.
A lot of people are throwing out the Sharks, and it could be a good for a reunion for them. They have the cap room.
But you know what? If I'm the Sharks, if I'm Greer and the Sharks, I don't do that.
I don't think they have any defenseman on contract for next year, though. They have their
but
D
I
is
don't.
no good.
I'm sorry. If you want out, you want out.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. If you want out, stay out. I don't like reunions. Reunions let people off the hook. I don't do that. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's right. I think things end for a reason. Things end for a reason, and San Jose is on a trajectory that's healthy, and they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They'll eventually find defensemen. And they'll eventually bring in blue liners, believe me. But I don't like that idea at all. Ray Bay in the chat, Sid Crosby has won it all, has nothing to prove.
Sure.
He loves the game. Yeah. No one's disputing that. Crosby would be excellent with Demidov.
So one place I could see him maybe going.
Not even. I don't see him leaving Pittsburgh at all.
No, I don't think he should. Obviously.
I'm not falling for
obviously not.
Any rumor I hear in the offseason. I don't think Crosby's wired like that. I just don't. Because quite frankly, he would have already been traded.
You're going to make me bring this up here, huh?
What are you talking about?
So I agree with you, and it might be time to move on because I want to reiterate to you what Dubas has done in the picks category, right? This year he has 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. Next year he has 5 picks in the first 3 rounds.
That's good.
The year after that he has 6 picks in the first 3 rounds of that draft. So a ton of picks coming up. And people say, well, why are you loading up on picks? Is it to move on? Is it to move forward? So go out and see what those picks could give you. What do you want? Willie back? Or Josh Yohe, I believe it was, who's a writer, said would he be a guy who would chase Matthews? He wrote a piece in The Athletic about if they're stocking up all these assets to maybe go after somebody like Matthews.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Holy cow.
I'm telling you, that's what
the Pittsburgh Penguins have 15 picks in the first 3 rounds of the next 3 drafts.
Crazy, right? That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
That's where Dubas did some work.
I didn't realize that.
He stocked the cupboards, dude.
Yeah, he's planning something.
There's something there.
He's planning something. Dude, to hell with it. Go get McDavid.
Oh my God.
Go get McDavid.
Dude. Whoa.
Let me look. Let's say the Oilers in English lose tonight. Let's say the Oilers lose tonight. Game 6 against Anaheim. They're out. Stan Bowman and Ken Holland have pillaged this organization to improve it around 29 and 97.
Yep.
To the point where they really haven't. Not only have the picks gone, they're the Leafs West. The picks are gone. The team is not that much better. It's still reliant on 2 players. And I don't know where this is going. If you're Kyle Dubas, you're losing Malkin this year. Sidney Crosby, I will remind you, is signed for a tidy $8.7 million next season. And McDavid didn't give himself a raise. He's a 12.5. How about, hey, Stan Bowman, if he's still working there. Hey, Stan Bowman, it's Kyle Dubas on the line. Role play.
Oh, boy. Here
I'm Kyle Dubas.
Okay.
Azzo, you play Stan Bowman.
Okay.
Pick up your phone.
Hold on. I'm on with something.
Okay. Oh, you can't do the phone thing? Well, if we're going to role play. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Stan, it's K Doggy. How you doing?
Hey, K Doggy, what's going on?
We're just a little disappointed. The Flyers cheated a little bit.
But you guys made the playoffs. I like that video.
No, but hey, I know. Thank you for the video. It's what I do. We made the playoffs and lose. It's what I do. My contract's been fulfilled. But now I'm getting kind of antsy. Ownership is getting a little antsy. Has Connor talked to you at all about his status?
No, we haven't had that conversation yet.
Well, listen, if he does, let's. Are you heading to Switzerland for the World Hockey Championship in the middle of the month? You'll be there. Okay, so let's meet up at the Burn McDonald's or something, and let's talk because in theory, I can give you 3 firsts and 7 second-round draft picks for 2 more years of Connor McDavid. Would that interest you?
Oh my goodness.
Would that interest you?
I'd say so.
Yeah?
I'd say so.
Only if Connor's like interested because he had his full no move, obviously. It's a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dog, it's always great working. I mean, the other trade we made worked out so well for both.
You know what? While we're on the topic, do you want Skinner back?
If you're willing to take Jari back,
Done.
sure.
How about this? We'll trade each other the goalies back, and that works.
I like that. That's
all right.
Perfect.
Okay. See you in Burn.
All right.
Later.
See you there. Order me a Big Mac.
Okay. And see. Is there a world where something like that happens with Connor McDavid this summer? Connor McDavid might be pissed to high heaven in about 12 hours time. 12 hours time. He may look around and not like the furniture.
Definitely not.
What's Edmonton's pick situation by chance? Let's get to that. Look at you and I just fixing teams here.
But you're right. Like,
oh my God.
Cupboards are bare.
Oh my God. So no first rounder this year. They traded the first. It's a conditional first next year in the Jason Dickinson and Colton Dock deal with the Blackhawks. So no firsts this year or next year for the Oilers. They have a second and a third this year. They only have a second round pick next year. And then in 2028, it starts to level out a bit more. They're actually in slightly better shape than I thought, although they do not have a first rounder in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
If Connor McDavid is annoyed at this, look out.
Which he could very much.
Look out. Tristan Jarry may have changed the whole discussion in that city. Now, I know Oiler fans are going to get really mad at this, but I didn't realize the stockpile that Kyle Dubas was sitting on pick-wise. I didn't realize that.
That's what I'm saying, where he did his job. Because you're getting ready for life after these guys, like you brought up, because it is time to kind of move on.
Mark in the chat, Connor doesn't like the furniture already.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe.
I think you can tell.
Edward in the chat, used car salesman Sid. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment.
Getting deals done.
Yes. Ray Bay in the chat. This is a good one. This is a good one. McDavid is a weird one. He gives off one club guy vibes, but the Oilers are hopeless. See, that's the deal. I 100% agree with that.
So do I.
I don't think Connor wants to go anywhere.
If you're all in move was Jari.
But like this is going to get weird. Yeah. This is going to get weird. Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins are not those kinds of dogs, man. They're not.
And they can barely stay healthy.
They're not. And Hyman never stays healthy. Boy, does the media love them some Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman should be criticized a lot more for not being available. A lot. Man.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Chris in the chat, Connor McDavid did not say, I love Lamp. I love Lamp. No, he doesn't like the furniture. I don't think the Oilers are winning that hockey game tonight. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. Game 6 in Anaheim. I have a bad feeling about that game for the Oilers tonight. Bad feeling. Connor Ingram did play well the other night. Good for him. Good for him.
I mean,
do they go back to Tristan Jarry tonight and just save Ingram for home dates?
No, they can't.
But Knoblauch was talking weird about how he knew the whole time Game 5 would be Ingram.
Yeah.
I'm like, so hold on. So Tristan Jarry stops 35 of 36 shots, and then you take him out for Connor Ingram? Really? Really? Okay. That's an interesting Pens thing.
Yeah. He's stockpiling for some.
That's interesting.
Like whether it's to move on after these guys and get some young guys in there or to make a move. And again, Josh Yohe, it was on April 2nd. I just looked it up. It's funny because the headline was, where is it? Hang on, I just lost it. Will the Penguins pursue Austin Matthews? Question bag. Does winning change Dubas's plans? Although they didn't win because that was at the beginning of the month.
So you mean mailbag?
Mailbag.
Yeah. Jack in the chat. Even if the Oilers win the series, they ain't beating Colorado.
That's a very good observation. True. Don't need data to tell you that.
But that's not a next round problem.
Right.
That's a Western Conference final problem.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Western Conference final, I think your team feels a little different right now, or in that part of the season than it does right now. I could be wrong. I do not like this for the Oilers tonight at all.
Oh, they're in trouble. They are in trouble.
I feel weird about it.
Can I say something about the playoff format too? Like, isn't it better that you face the better teams early in the playoffs? Because then, like, what's the sense of making a run and losing to a better team anyways? Like, if you can knock them out early, you can go for a run after.
Well, winning a series is fun.
Yeah, that's
like
true,
like
I
we don't say that enough out loud. Winning a series can be a good time.
Yeah,
it can be profitable for TV stations and for teams and for in terms of ticket sales.
And you're like the Oilers, you go to 7 games every time. Holy cow!
Jack in the chat. It feels like months since the Avalanche played.
It's true.
But I thank God the Avalanche swept that series. I don't want to see the Kings anymore.
So over them.
Andrei Kopitar is like a future Hall of Famer. God bless Andrei Kopitar. But I don't want to see the Kings. I don't find the Kings that interesting. Quite frankly, the Kings don't find the Kings that interesting.
They're not. They could really use a guy like Austin Matthews.
What's the LA Kings draft pick situation?
Let's do this again.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Last thing. What is the LA Kings draft pick situation? Well, look at what you have here.
Mike Futa stock those all up?
This year, a first and 2 seconds. Next year, both their picks, first and second round. 2028, a first and 2 seconds. 2029, a first and a second.
There you go.
The Kings are in a responsible draft pick place. They are.
Some good young players you can trade too. Interesting.
Interesting times.
Yeah.
Interesting times. Hey, whatever. I'm sure the Oilers will be fine.
We'll see after tonight.
We'll see. All right. You know what? We're going to wrap it up. Shout out to George Springer for driving in a run yesterday. Shout out to the Jays, who are 14-16 and begin a series in Minnesota tonight. Bailey Ober against Kevin Gausman. Jays are 14-16, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., despite, I believe, reaching base 4 times yesterday, still is on pace for 11 home runs this season.
Last 19 games, averaging 423, 8 extra base hits, 11 RBIs, 15 runs, OPS of 1.044.
So are we happy with Vlad or not happy with Vlad right now?
So I've been thinking about this. You know what my one beef with him is? Then don't hit third, dude. Like, he insists on hitting third. Like, then we're paying you $500 million. Hit second for us. So you're on base for guys like Ernie to hit doubles.
Hit second. No, let's flip it on its ear. I want a 350 hitter hitting 9. Put him at 9.
No.
The only 350 hitter hitting 9 hole in the entire league.
I think that's been my only beef. Like, then you can't insist on hitting third in the war. Like, it only matters.
I agree with you 1,000%. If you want to be known as the big hitting guy, 500 million hitting third, you get criticized for these numbers.
Not the numbers, the home runs, the power.
Okay, sorry. The power numbers.
Yes.
The stuff you're paid for. I don't pay you for singles.
Yeah.
Ernie Clement's giving me singles.
Oh, he's giving you doubles. He's leading them.
Give me home runs
yesterday. I know.
By the way, the most awkward ever Hazel Gatorade incident was after the game last night.
Hunter, I'm so glad you brought this up because I almost forgot. That was so weird. What are you doing?
Just
figure it out.
Home fans, stop cheering that on.
Yeah.
Stop cheering that on. Stop. But that's what Vladdy's place is in the organization. No one can say no to him on that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's a little thing. It's not even a big thing. What happens when the big thing happens? And you got to sit Vladdy down.
Yeah.
You got a problem.
Oh,
if you can't tell Vladdy no on this idiotic Gatorade thing where Hazel can't even work.
Someone's going to have a stupid injury because of this. Because you see Ernie trying to duck it and the guys are trying to throw it.
You think someone's going to get hurt doing it?
Like, it's weird
maybe.
The way they're running out of it or trying to throw the bucket up and down. And like I could see somebody like weirdly getting hurt of it.
Yeah.
Saw a guy get hurt sneezing in the shower, whatever it was. Like, they've had some weird injuries. I could see it happening.
That's a tough injury.
Broken rib. What was it?
That's so weird. Tough. By the way, that's not a true story. That's a bad story.
Really?
I hurt myself sneezing in the shower.
I've violent sneezes though. I've
really
done that. I've done that.
Yeah, it sounds like you got in a fight and don't want to talk about it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Who pissed you off?
I fell down the stairs. Sure, a professional athlete fell down the stairs. A professional athlete whose balance is important to him fell down. Sure.
He was running away from a spider or something, wasn't he?
Sure.
What was that one?
By the way, Toronto Tempo sold out Coca-Cola Coliseum last night for a preseason
good time.
Yeah. Kia Nurse, first ever real bucket. Well, I mean, real preseason bucket in Tempo history.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great crowd.
Good time. I want to get to a game for sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
Anything else, Azzo? You good?
I guess. Can't talk WWE again. You keep cutting me off.
By the way, I just I want to take a moment to make an announcement. I wanted to keep this quiet. I too was interviewed to be VP of Hockey Ops for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Of Hockey Ops? I thought they would give you someone else.
I'm sorry. I was interviewed.
Of Quesadilla.
I don't want to say it. That's obviously not true. All right. We wanted to get to Anthony Santander. Our apologies, but we ran out of time. On behalf
And WWE.
And
next time.
WWE. On behalf of Jeff Azzopardi and everyone here at Sick Media, my name is Sid. You've been watching and listening to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.